Did you ever want to be one of those people who have an incredible gift of a photographic memory? Well, unfortunately, I can't help you there. But if you want to fool friends or people at a party to think you have an incredible memory, then let me show you how to do it. Alright, yo, so check this out. For those of you who are curious, they're going to be throwing it back to the classic Knox. These cards are out of the tuck case. And I'm going to hand this deck over to the spectators so they can shuffle it up as much as they would like. Once they're satisfied with their shuffling, they can go ahead and pick any one card in the deck that we're going to use as a randomizer. Okay, and I'll tell you in a second what that means. So they can go ahead, pick any card. Let's just say they want to select this card right over here. They can take a look at it, memorize it, and we're going to use that as a randomizer. I'll leave it face down here on the table. Then you could even shuffle this deck up a little bit more if you'd like. Ignore me dropping cards. That just happens from time to time. Now, what's going to happen is, I'm going to put cards up in your face one at a time. You're going to remember the card at your position, right? Jack is 11, Queen is 12, King is 13. So for example, if you picked an ace, you'd remember the first card and that would be your selected card. And I just want you to remember it in your mind. So I'm going to go through 13 cards one at a time. All right, I think that should be good enough. I'm going to give the deck a bit of a shuffle like this. And if you want, we could even take your card and lose it somewhere in the deck. It really doesn't matter. Now your randomizer card is lost in the deck. Your actual card is lost in the deck. And we're going to do our best to locate your card using memory. Okay? Now, memory, of course, is something that we all have, right? Whether it be remembering, what happened on your 10th birthday or remembering what happened on your 80th birthday. 80th may be a bit more difficult, but I'm going to show you something that's near impossible. Someone with a photographic memory can go through this whole deck and memorize its exact order. I'm going to show you that magicians can do the exact same thing. So real quick, I'm going to go through and memorize the order of these cards. And what I want you to do in a second, I'm going to turn my back, go hide in a ditch, or just, bury me underground. I want you to take your card and move it to anywhere you'd like in the deck. Right after I go ahead and memorize this order. Again, it's never easy, but we're going to do our best. Okay, I think I have the order memorized. Now I'm going to turn my back. I want you to take your card and move it to some other position. Okay? So you're going to take your card and move it somewhere else at random. Then I want you to close up the deck and turn it face down. And to make things even more difficult, cutting the deck actually does not change the order of the cards, it just shifts half the cards to somewhere else. I want you to give the deck a cut as well. This will make it even more challenging. Now, once you've done all that, I'm going to turn back around and I'm going to spread the cards out like this again. My challenge now is to be able to figure out which one card has been moved even after you cut the deck. Again, only someone with an insanely great memory like a magician can do this. Sometimes it's hard to think of the order after the deck has been cut. It's a piece of cake once you know, once the deck hasn't been cut, if the order is kept the same. But since the order has changed, there has been a shift in the deck. I think the shift was like from here, and I remember seeing, no, the shift was from somewhere else. But I remember this order here was a little different. I'm gonna say this was the card that you merely thought of at complete random, and one card that you moved. King of Clubs, that's right. What up, crew? It is Magic Monday, and this is your place to learn magic, master your performance, and captivate audiences. So to give you some background on this effect, I was going through the book series Card College, and I came across this effect known as Phenomenal Memory, but it seemed a little too easy for me. I wanted to level up this trick and see how I can have more fun with it. So in this video, I want to be teaching you the original simple method as well as the advanced method that I came up with. Now, before we dive into the tutorial, make sure you smash that like button, hit subscribe, grab your favorite deck of playing cards, and now, let's do it. Alright, yo, here we are. You're going to impress so many people with this. It's going to be amazing. Like I mentioned, I'm going to break this video down into two parts. The first is going to be the simplified original version. Then the second one is going to be the version that I did for my performance, which is a bit more advanced. But before I talk about either of that, I want to talk about the main principle used in this effect, which is the key card principle. If you're not familiar with that, what's going to happen is once the spectator is done shuffling up a deck of cards, you're going to memorize, for example, the bottom card. This is going to be your key card, the 8 of spades. So now let's say a spectator selects a card, whatever that card is, they're going to put that on top of the deck and give the deck a cut. Now we know our key card, the 8 of spades, is on top of the spectator selected card. So now when the deck is spread out, all we're looking for is our 8 of spades, and whatever card is underneath that 8 of spades will be the spectator selected card. That's it. That is all that this trick relies on. And we kind of use that along with showing, I guess, the skill of photographic memory to impress our spectator. So let's talk about the original method of this trick. We're going to start off by having the spectator shuffle up the deck and then select out any card that they want. Let's just say it is the 10 of diamonds. Once that card has been selected, you can give the deck back to the spectator. They can shuffle it up again, but it's really not needed. You're going to take now and look at the bottom card, which is the king of spades. Of course, do this very subtly, so maybe while they're looking at their card, you can quickly take a peek like this on what the bottom card is. Don't make it obvious because that would be weird. Have them return this card back to the top of the deck and give the deck a cut. You know your key card is king of spades, so you give the deck a cut. Now, while you're doing this, your performance is really going to be the selling point of this whole effect. If you cannot perform this right, don't do it. But basically, what you're going to be talking to them about is memory, okay? What you're going to say is some people have a photographic memory, which actually all magicians develop over time. Again, you can change up the words as much as you want, but this is just a baseline of something that you can use to build on. So magicians have a photographic memory. I can go through all these cards and memorize the exact order in which they're in. So to demonstrate that, I'm going to do something almost impossible. I'm going to turn around or close my eyes for a second, and I want you to take out the one card that you selected. And of course, as you're talking through this, you're going to be looking for your key card, which is the king of spades, and you're going to know right underneath the king of spades is going to be their selected card. So you're looking for the king of spades, you find it here. Of course, don't go straight up and touch it, but you find your king of spades and you see the card right underneath the king of spades is the 10 of diamonds, right? You can see that right here. And you're going to tell the spectator, okay, I have memorized this pile. I would say don't take more than like 15-20 seconds. Otherwise, they're going to start getting bored of sitting there watching you memorize one card at a time. So once that's done, you can ask them, again, you do this, you ask them to take out their card. At this point, you know their card is 10 of diamonds. Take out their card and put it back anywhere they want. And now what you're going to be looking for, you're going to tell them, I'm going to be looking for, as a magician, an anomaly or something that's changed. So you tell them to move the card, square everything up, and put it face down. And of course, as they do this, you're going to turn away in some other direction with your eyes closed or something like that. Then they're going to come and get you, or they're going to call you, whatever it is. You're going to come back, spread out the cards, act to some level of, okay, I think this order looks correct, I think that order looks correct. And just don't, of course, don't go near the card when you say this order looks correct, this order looks correct. All you're going to be doing is looking for something that's changed, and you look for, oh wait, hold on a second. Something here seems different. You could even take these cards out if you like, and be like, some order here has been switched up. I remember seeing 4 red cards, so this 5 shouldn't be correct. I remember the 2 aces. I remember this. I think your card is the 10 of diamonds. So come up with some level of showmanship in order to really sell this effect. Now, this more advanced method will blow your mind because it's so fantastic. You're going to be like, oh, it was so obvious. Why didn't I get that in the first place? You'll start off by handing the deck to the spectator, having them shuffle it up as per the usual. And then you have them select out a card that you're going to use as a randomizer card. And that's what you're going to tell them. So let's say they pick out any card they want. It is the 8 of hearts. Now, they don't show you this card. You tell them to remember the value of their card. Because in a second, you're going to go through cards one at a time. And as you go through, they're going to remember the card at their value. So you can give them an example. For example, if they select the number 2, 1, 2, you'd remember the second card. Jack is 11, Queen is 12, and King is 13. Now, as you're doing this, when you give the example, I would actually recommend giving the example this way, where you pick up the card like this in a biddle grip. So ring finger, middle finger on top, thumb on the bottom, and you show them 1, 2, like that, okay? And that's going to be very helpful in a second, and let me tell you why. Because, again, like I mentioned, this card trick uses the key card principle. So you show them 1, you're going to remember this card. This will be your key card, the King of Spades. So you're going to remember the King of Spades. So you say, for example, 1, 2, you would remember this card. And now you can do it in their direction so you don't see the card. But you remember the King of Spades. That's all you have to remember right now. So you're going to keep on going through. They selected what? 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Normally you go through 13 cards, but it just doesn't make sense right now for me to go through 13 cards. But you're supposed to go through 13 cards. You show them this, they're going to memorize their selected card is the King of Diamonds. All right, once that is memorized, you're going to close this up and you're going to shuffle up the deck. Now, like I mentioned, usually when you're doing this at an easier level, the key card is just on the bottom, their selected cards on top, you give the deck a cut. But now, you're going to have to actually know how many cards away their selected card is from your key card. Because remember, your key card is the King of Spades, and they've remembered the 8th card. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Their card is the King of Diamonds. But you don't know how far away their card is from your key card, at least yet. So what I do here is I start doing an overhand shuffle, and I have a video where I talked about, a lot more in depth on the overhand shuffle. I'll put the link on the screen, you can check it out later. But I throw over a giant packet, well, I wouldn't say giant, maybe about a fourth of the deck, which is 13 cards. I throw a little bit over 13 cards from the top of this packet. This way I keep this packet intact. Then I overhand shuffle the rest, making the shuffle seem very random. And then I shuffle one more time, right? So I can pull this in like this and I shuffle again. And when I'm doing this, I pick up the spectator's card saying that you don't really need this and I can take this back. As I'm taking this back and shuffling it into the deck, I quickly peek at what this card is and I know it's an 8. So I pick this up like this and I continue shuffling until I have about a quarter of the deck left. Then I throw over the rest of the cards and I say, you know what, just to make it as fair as possible, you can even give the deck a cut, so then I have absolutely no idea where your card is. At this point, the card should be somewhere around the center area, but if it's not, that's completely fine, as long as your original packet was kept intact. Now you have exactly what you need. You know what your key card is. You know the value of the randomizer that the spectator selected. All you're going to do is find your King of Spades. So your King of Spades is right here, right? King of Spades, boom. You're going to count 8 cards forward, if we do that. And it's going to be including your key card, by the way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you know the spectator selected card will be the King of Diamonds. And you're going to proceed exactly the same way you did as part of the original effect. And I'm going to tell you, if you do it this way, you may even fool some magicians because it is absolutely phenomenal. That's why it's called a phenomenal memory. If you want to take a deeper dive into the shuffle used in this video and really enhance your card manipulating controlling skills, I would highly encourage you to check out this mini masterclass I made on the overhand shuffle. It will change how you do magic. Thanks so much for spending your time with me. Love you guys. It was a pleasure having you here, and I'll see you in the next video. Deck drop.